following is a review of a beloved Fire Emblem game, and this review will not talk kindly about it. If you are a serious fan that adores this game, I recommend you watch another video, as I don't want your day to be ruined. But thanks for watching anyways.
Vocal percussion on a whole nother level, coming from my mind. Vocal percussion on a whole nother level, coming from my mind.
The Fire Emblem series is a series that has been long-standing ever since the NES days, with many ups and downs during its lifetime, where it was an obscure game series until 7, where it was finally released to the West. And now we get to today, with 3 houses on the Switch. I love this new game so much, the video got delayed! And I decided to reflect upon the 3DS games where I officially got hooked into the series. Because every one of the games has their good moments, and their bad moments. So, here's my review format for all 3 games. I'll talk about the story, then the gameplay, then the character roster, how much fun I had with them, and lastly, what I would do to improve it. So today, I'm covering the most beloved of the 3DS games, and the most overrated, Fire Emblem Echoes. So without further ado, let's go! Act 1 begins with Alm and the villagers getting ambushed by Slade, a minor soldier in one of the 2 main kingdoms of the game, Sophia, who is as evil as a Saturday morning cartoon, and hilariously as threatening as one as well. After Mycen defeats Slade, Celica leaves, Alm trains, and Lucas seeks Mycen by Act 1. And the gang ends up taking the fort, and Act 1 ends with some corny stuff from Gray about how he knew Alm would end up being better than the rest, and we go on to Act 2. All you need to know for Act 2 is...
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
And then Celica and Alm fight and get separated. Chapter 3 for Alm has him getting praised a little bit like a Mary Sue and foreshadowing with the subtlety of a hammer that he is royalty. While with Celica, she gets a repeat of Act 2. Alm ends up saving Matilda, getting the royal blade that chooses him, and discovering that he is now royalty. And Clive is having second doubts about Alm being the leader because of what Desai said before Desai died. Now, with Clive having doubts and the blade, it adds up to the Deliverance leader being the leader over a lie, since the only reason Alm was appointed was because he was a commoner and Mycen's grandson. But let's forget that and focus on saving Delthea and having Alm being declared as king by Luthier. Clive berates himself while praising Alm, and then we move on to Celica's route. Celica has to face pirate after pirate after pirate again, saving the White Wings, helping out Atlas, and saving Mercenary 3. And she has to face either Out of the Edge or straight out of fan service. Now, I know what you're thinking, and it was a very difficult... Celica and Alm move forward with Act 4, and it ends with Celica captured by Jeddah, Alm the Emperor because it turns out he was Rudolph's son. Who could have seen this coming? And Berkut pretty salty. Even though it was a bit tiring going through 1 through 4, Chapter 5 is honestly much better because the stories and the characters begins to pick up more. First off, we get actual emotion from Alm. He is conflicted that he had to fight and kill his father. It actually makes people think, that's a little similar to his character from Awakening in the Airhere Jar. Secondly, we get to face enemies like Berkut and Renea, who are possessed by Duma, and the music is just glorious. Next, we get to see Alm having to clash with a possessed Celica. And finally, you get a tedious battle with Duma to finish it off? Why does this game have to ruin my fun consistently? Afterwards, you get a storybook ending to everyone who didn't die. That is much more creative than usual, since if one character dies, you see how it affects everyone else's ending like in the original game. Overall, the story honestly is flawed. It's okay, but it's not worth playing the game over just for its story, because it has a pretty straightforward plot. Sure, having characters call you out for messing up the secondary mission, like getting Matilda killed, or when you lose a character, is a nice touch, but like I said, it is just not worth playing. Alright. The gameplay is alright for a standard Fire Emblem game. It has the usual weapon triangle. Oh. Well, it has a breakable... Huh. Well, what about the 5-speed to double? Wow! This is a vastly different game. Okay, so it has the standard weight, shops, and classes that everyone fell in love with, but Echoes has their own tricks. First, bows are now not garbage. Bows have a great range, and they can snipe a foe from a far distance. Everyone can rank up by level 7 instead of 10, and they get bonus stats if they need it. Classes have innate abilities. Mages get a bit of a nerf, with their magic needing health in order to cast, making them much more risky to use than in previous games. Except for the tiny fact that everyone has garbage resistance! No, I'm not kidding. Everyone has horrible resistance, and that extended to your units as well, with the highest growth rate of all units in the game, a measly 10! And that's a DLC unit! When you see a unit's resistance base, chances are that's what's going to be by the end of the game. Which wouldn't be too bad if mages were rare to find. But from what I remember, they were not rare. Now, to counteract this, you would need a class that takes half damage from magic, which is where the Dread Fighter comes in. And all would be well and good if the Dread Fighter wasn't one of the most overpowered class in Fire Emblem history. First off, half damage from magic. Secondly, great stats all around. Thirdly, can loop to gain infinite levels. Basically, if someone can turn into a Dread Fighter, they are automatically better than most others. Oh, but if you think the Dread Fighters are too OP for you, don't worry, because Celica's route has plenty of them for you to face. You know, the route that is mostly mages. And if you're worried about Alm's route, don't worry. You get to deal with horrible map design, which both routes have. And on top of that, reinforcements for moving just a single turn on the overworld map. Maps are so boring that it took a team of 6 to remember their names. I'm not kidding when I say this. Ugh. At least the weapon skill mechanic is decent. It is honestly something I would love to see in future games, because I'll admit having fun with those skills. But like I said, the map design is just atrocious! And the balance is as non-existent as in PlayStation All-Stars. Am I exaggerating? The resistance rate and base stat, horrible map design, abundance of mages that make salt explode from my body like a faucet, and just overall annoyance makes this gameplay a huge skip for me. Okay, I'll admit, I like the roster. However, I honestly think they got screwed with support conversations. Most characters get a total of 1. However, to compensate, they are more active in the story when they are alive compared to previous games. However, the support conversations are a huge loss, as support conversations are supposed to delve into the backstories of the characters and make them feel more alive like in other Fire Emblem games. If you want an example of this, check out Jay Ake's video on support conversations. But, as a trade-off, the cast is a lot more likable when they can be, and there's hardly a bad egg in the cast. However, once again, to the shock of nobody in the Fire Emblem fanbase, the Lords are the most controversial part about the game. Because all could have been built up better, and Celica is portrayed as a tipsy blonde that can't seem to figure things out by fans. While I disagree with Celica, going as so far as to loving Celica herself, I would agree about the Alm part. Oh, not only that, but Faye honestly could have been characterized better, where her most notable characteristic isn't being a love-obsessed girl. Why am I not talking about the best characters, though, like I did with the other two videos? Because honestly, the cast is just so lovable that it's hard to pick a favorite. I honestly enjoy most of the cast and adore the voice acting that went into the characters. Yeah, each one of the lines is fully voice acted, so it's glorious to listen to them talk to the other characters. But if I had to say fan favorites, Leon, May, Matilda, Gray, Silk, and for some reason, Sonia. On the other hand, Slade. How freaking cartoonish of a villain. I would, no joke, expect to see an anvil fall on his head. But there's another highlight of Echoes! But let's talk about the best character by far, Berkut. Oh my gosh, if there was a grand Fire Emblem villain, here you go. He is effectively the foil to Alm. It's honestly refreshing watching a villain that is a dark version of Alm go down the pit of insanity more and more until he finally snaps when Rudolph lied to him his whole life about Alm's heritage. And watching his breakdown is not only awesome, but tragic. As someone that doesn't like Alm that much, it's quite poetic that I like his foil as one of my favorite characters in Fire Emblem history. And the fact that his fiancé is also a foil to a lord, that lord being Celica. Honestly, just watch Berkut's scenes and you will love progression towards his insanity to just kill Alm. This is the one Fire Emblem game I have not replayed at all. That should say how much fun was had. However, I enjoyed Celica's route. I enjoyed the skill arts. I enjoyed the voice lines. I enjoyed the story at times. I enjoyed this game somewhat. I just hated the gameplay! That, and I felt like Alm was average as a lord goes. Celica, I felt, was a much better lord. Maybe it's because I like flawed heroes more than flawless heroes, but I liked Alm the least out of the 3DS lords, mainly because he felt bland and crept along the Mary Sue line a little. While Celica gets called out, but you know her reasons why she chooses her actions. However, that doesn't mean I hate Alm or think that he is exactly a Mary Sue. I just don't like him that much. He's just mad to me. And he only creeps along that Mary Sue line. What I would change? Level design? Level design? Oh, and level design! Give Alm some better development. Make him similar to how he was in Awakening, where good is not nice, instead of the generic Fire Emblem Lord kindness. Improve the story a bit. Having some kind of civil war you had to stop somehow, honestly, would be kind of a fun idea because of Desai's final words that could threaten to split the whole Deliverance. They already remade the game from the ground up. They might as well have some new fun with it. Give the resistance growth a bigger boost than 3%. Give Duma a redemption conversation with Alm where the two have a chat and ending him with him telling Alm and the others to carry on their lives without the aid of either Duma or Milla. Oh, did I mention level design as well? Honestly, I want to like this game. I really do. But it's just so atrocious to play! But that rounds up the final in our trilogy of the Fire Emblem 3DS games. See you next time, when I may decide to cover another thing that might make me the laughingstock of the entire internet. Hey, thanks for watching. This has been the Avatar of Discord, or the Chaos Jester. And I'd like to thank you all for watching, and to please check the description for not only the video sources, but also the people that helped me out with this video, and their channels. Also, I have a Discord server if you all want to join. And the other two videos that I reviewed are in the description as well. Thank you all for watching.